Hi, it is the Human Operating System time. So today I'd like to share with you the basic core of internal Kung Fu. The basic core of internal Kung Fu development, or a simple map, so that you'll be able to know exactly what is the core or basic internal Kung Fu or internal art development, so that you'll be able to learn better and train better. Now, what inspired me to share with you this today is 2 days ago, there is a friend living close by sent me a seminar flyer, and the flyer is there is a grandmaster teaching internal martial arts, and so the friend sent me the flyer asking me what do I think, and I look at the flyer. So the flyer says this grandmaster learned from his sifu, which is other grandmaster, and then who this other grandmaster trained from, learned from, and up to 3-4 generations, and say this is the secret art which is passing down within the family, and it is a secret teaching where one need to learn as the basic for the particular internal art. So the friend asked me, what do you think? Would you like to go to study? So I reply him and say, well, if you like it, well, just go take the seminar. And that's how I reply him. Well, that inspired me to share this to you today. That flyer, what that flyer shows is just identity. Like I learned from my sifu learned from which grandmaster, which grandmother study from which grandmaster, all this. These are just identity. It says nothing about what is the art is about, or what is the content of the art, or what is the connotations, the significance of the art. And it is usual like that, right? I mean, it is usual that I say, well, I learned from this sifu learned from this sifu, and all this thing. And then this is the my family style of internal art, and so forth, so forth. So for me, those are identity. It says nothing about internal art and so forth. And for me, with this friend, I say, well, just if you like it, just go study it, okay? This is how the world is, because most people love identity. It's like if I tell you I'm the student of Grandmaster such and such, I have an identity, because my sifu's identity, right? So those are different worlds where I live, from where I live. I live in a different world. I live in a world that I do not pay attention on the identity. I pay attention on the significant, the meaning, the connotations of what it is. In Chinese, we say 内涵. Okay, in Mandarin, 内涵. So if you go to a grandmaster, which I usually go to different teacher to study. They always ask me to show something and ask me what is the Neihan, which is the connotations or the inside of it. And so today I like to show you the map and share with you what is the significant or what is the meaning of this so-called internal martial arts or internal art of the Qigong art or the art with Qigong. Okay, so you know exactly what it is. Now, so today I like to share with you with Western sports science with scientific way, okay? So as a few days ago, I shared on this 5 heart rate zone training and the heart rate variability. Now we're gonna use that, okay, to see what exactly is this internal development is. What is the basic of it, okay? So, the core of internal Kung Fu, okay, internal art, Qigong, whatever you want to talk about it, it boils down to breathing rhythm and heart rate handling. Yeah, breathing rhythm and heart rate handling. Well, you can call it cardio. Well, cardio is energy, right? And energy in Chinese term is qi. However, from here we know that the qi, the energy we talk about, one needs to know about the handling of the breathing rhythms and the heart rate. And that is the core of it. Without knowing the handling of the heart rate and the breathing rhythm, those type of energy doesn't exist. As soon as it is in the human world, okay? It doesn't matter it is Chinese, it is American, it doesn't matter. Why? You look at a baby, a newborn baby. It doesn't matter he's a Chinese, he's American, he's a European, he's a German, or he's an Indonesian. A baby is baby. Baby grow on its own naturally. You give him enough rest, enough food, you take care of it, the baby grow. And the core, the guts of that growing, you know that, everybody know that, be it in Chinese medicines or Western medicines, the breathing rhythms and the heart rate, those are biomarkers which can show whether one is healthy or not. That's why when we go to a doctor, measure our blood pressure, our pulse, right? And then if we cannot sleep, measure your breathing and so forth. Well, that's the basic, really basic, okay? So, because it is dealing with the breathing rhythms and the heart rate, we know now with sports science, that's why I formulated out or model, okay, better terms, I model it up is that there is 5 heart rate zone there, okay, like as in my previous video. And then there is the resting heart rate zone. Well, even baby, if they want to grow, the baby need to sleep, okay? So you have this 5 heart rate zones with the resting heart rate zone, sleep heart rate zone, okay? Now, within this, you know that in this zone 1 and the resting heart rate zone, there is something called the synchronizations of the heart rate and the breathing, okay, where it influences the autonomic nervous system. So the model, the beauty of the model which I created with this 5 heart rate zone with the resting heart rate zone here and the heart rate variability is that it be able to map out what type of the cardio or breathing rhythm and heart rate of the activity, okay? So we know that for fighting, it is heart rate zone 4 and 5. Okay, fighting is high speed, it is high speed momentum exchange. For the conditioning, for health or for fighting, it is zone 3 and zone 2. For warm up or cool down, there is zone 1. And for recovery, for charging, like you sleep, you charge your energy. And then for healing, it is the resting heart rate zone. Okay? So this is a map already. Okay? Now, if you look at the internal art training, it always starts in the in this resting heart rate zone. That is where one develops the natural resonance breathing, which is the lower abs breathing or the Xing Qi to Dan Tian breathing or natural tree breathing, which right now we can check it with the heart rate variability, whether one really get into that or not, okay? And so this is usually you do in sitting meditation, in laying down and so forth, and maybe you can do it in the standing too, the standing meditation, 站桩, okay, if your Kung Fu is well developed. And then on top of that will be the what I name, I call it the 2C state, based on the natural resonance breathing, where one needs the states to support whatever the development on top of it, okay? So one has to develop the natural lower abs, natural resonance lower abs breathing, and then develop the 2C, and the 2C state is going to support the conditioning, okay, the body conditioning of the zone 2, and then support the zone 3, like the impulse momentum shoot in, and then further you will support the fighting, okay? So it is the 2C has to support all of this, and this natural resonance breathing has to support all of this. So that's how the basic of the internal training is. One must have this, okay? So one must have the synchronizations of the breathing rhythms and the heart rate to beginning with, and then step by step going further until one be able to get into the zone 4 and zone 5 well prepared, okay? So for those of you follow my my channel here, this is the natural resonance breathing, this is the 2C state, this is the 7 bowls, this is the force flow, okay, which you have to develop it in like in the zone 2, and then this is the impulse momentum or shoot in, where you develop it and you're gonna use it up here, okay, and then you further develop it here, because this area is aerobic. This is anaerobic. It is a different way to run the body. Okay, the body functions differently in the aerobic conditions or the anaerobic conditions. So even though one practice here, one still have to carry to the anaerobic on the zone 4, zone 5, and then practice here. However, one needs this before one can get in. Okay, so an internal development has to go through this. Okay, and the bottom line is it has to be able to handle this. And so today we can measure with the heart rate variability. Okay. Now for the Xing Qi to Dan Tian or Qi Gong, this is a must. The natural low abs breathing and the 2C state is a must. Without this, there is no base to develop this. Okay. So like your Xiu Lim Tao, you need to develop this. And for healing, for charging, recovery, it is a must to be able to get into the natural resonance breathing state, like a baby. Just look at the baby, how the baby breathes. You know, just it sleep very deeply and it breathe with the stomach and so forth. Okay, it's just natural. It's not something which is made, created or something we want to play with. Okay. So for the natural resonance breathing, the details is in. I already, share so many times in my videos. And if you want the details, you need to go through the 4-level details. You cannot jump right away to the breathing. Okay, to the 4-layer details, and then you need to. If you can see this, you need to handle the breathing, okay? Like this in page 71, if you have the books, my books here. This is saying that for an experienced meditator, their breathing per minute may drop down to as low as 5 breaths per minute. And usually normal human being is range from 12 to 20 breaths per minutes when we are resting, or something like that. Okay. So how to get there? Over here, since many of you have my books already, you can see it here there. Okay, it is clearly described what it is, and if you have that. If you have a heart rate variability measurement applications, you can get into whatever I discuss here, get into the natural resonance, and measure the heart rate variability. Okay, say for example, you measure your heart rate variability, and then you do a 20 minutes of what I described here. If you can do it properly, after 20 minutes, when you wake up from your rest, you measure your heart rate variability. You see what happened. Even good if you have a tracking there, okay, like a heart rate variability, logging, those kind of stuff. But usually we don't have it. So you just measure it before and after, and you can see the difference. Okay, if you practice this properly, it has to show you a difference, which means after that natural resonance breathing, resting, deep resting, your heart rate variability will be higher than before. You do that, okay? Now, the 2C state, which is on top of this, you need to know that first. Otherwise, you really don't know how to breathe. The 2C state is in the Wing Chun Matrix books in here, okay, where I share with you how you can use the stick to get to that state. No longer need to be try and error, okay. So that is the thing. And then if you look at this about the shoot in, the impulse momentum, well, Again, in the Wing Chun Matrix books, the ancient, the shoot-in stuff, okay? Here it shows the shoot-in if you read Chinese, okay? Here it says 射镜, okay? This is shoot-in, okay? So it is a dynamic stuff in the zone 3, zone 4, zone 5, okay? Only that you need to know learn it in zone 3, and then you can go for zone 4 and zone 5 and to refine it at that real anaerobic zone for real live fighting usage, okay? And you know that in terms of momentum, it is about your entire body weight, okay? Your entire body weight. Your entire body goes, okay? It simply is not just moving my hand. Like you say, why when I do chi sao, like Wing Chun we do chi sao. Why are you just moving your hand? Well, the shoot-in is the entire body go, the body, the legs, the body, and the arm thrust in. That is imposed momentum, and that is the play needed in this fighting zone, which is the zone 4 and zone 5, and has to be high speed. Now, if one have no condition on this, well, you cannot last a few minutes, start to have a maximum heart rate, and then the breathing is just chaotic. It's tough, okay? So this is how the entire thing is, okay? And that's why this is how we can map it now, okay? So this is what I like to share with you. So you see what it is. So those of you who with me in this channel for so long already, you see that, okay? In my book, you can look at that, okay? In the details of those things. It is scientific stuff. We need to know step by step what is going on here to develop it. Otherwise, if we jump into the zone 4, zone 5, we can damage the body. And also, not everybody can do zone 3 and zone 5. No, if we get older, we sick, you have a high blood pressure and so forth, it's better to stay only 1, 2, 3, okay, or resting 1, 2, if the body is not well, while you benefit from the training, okay. Sure, you cannot fight, big deal. Health is much more important than fighting, okay. So this is to share with you today, okay. Hopefully this clear thing out. Identity do not rebraid us. Educations rebraid us. That's why I don't like to say I am the direct descendant of Yikam from Red Boat. I don't like to say that. Why? It means nothing. And in fact, it is a trap for me. Once you say that, then you have some kind of identity, and then you have to be this way, that way. That's really tiresome. I hate those stuff because those are not liberation. Those are you trapped into certain thing. Like you look at somebody who have the title of CEO, then they starting they cannot joke with you anymore, and they must be perfect every day. And then all politics and everything start from there. And I don't like that. I like education because education free all of us from trap. Rebraid all of us so that we can be ordinary people who can communicate in an honest way, and we can help each other. When you get into those identity, title, CEO level, upper management, well, that's not for me. Somebody might be good for them, Different people have different way of life, but for me, I cannot stand that. Okay, I just like to tell you what it is, and then we re-break, helping each other. There's no God here. There's no grandmaster here, but educations. This is to share with you today.